I am here on the Victoria line of the London Underground. Now, one of the original suggested names for this line was the Viking line, because the train goes from Victoria to King's Cross, Viking. Wouldn't that have been a cool name for the train line? When you're learning English, you should be really thankful to the Vikings. They were foreign invaders in the British Isles, and they didn't speak French or Latin or Anglo-Saxon, any of the languages spoken in England at that time. So, in order to communicate, they had to simplify English. Vikings are the reason that plurals are so easy in English. A majority of the plurals end in S. But before the Vikings, all of the plurals in English were irregular. Child, children, sheep, sheep, ox, oxen. But my favorite contribution to English from the Vikings is their incredible vocabulary. The word window comes from Viking. It means wind eye, because you could be inside, out of the wind, and see people coming. It was your wind eye. But my favorite story is about the word sky. When the Vikings arrived, they wandered around England going, sky, sky, and the English thought they meant sky. But actually, in Viking, sky means cloud. They were wandering around saying, clouds, cloudy. Hello and welcome to Canguro English. I'm Christian, and today we are going to be learning about binomials. I'm sure that all of you have heard of phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are a really common part of the English language, and everybody teaches them to their students. But have you ever heard of binomials? Let me tell you something interesting. Phrasal verbs make up about 0.6% of English. Binomials make up about 0.7%. So actually, binomials are more common than phrasal verbs. And they offer you a fantastic alternative way to express yourself. So let's learn about them. The construction of binomials is really simple. Binomial, two words. So we have a word and then a conjunction or a preposition in the middle and then another word. And normally these two words either rhyme, so they sound exactly the same, or they have alliteration, where the first letter of the word is the same, or they have assonance, which means that they contain the same vowel sounds. Now, let's look at some specific examples. The vast majority of binomials use nouns, but you can also use verbs or adverbs or adjectives. Let's look at some examples. So here we're using nouns, eyes and ears. I can say that. This man here, he is my eyes and ears. He listens and watches everything for me. Smash and grab. Here we're using verbs. If you go into a place and you smash everything and you grab everything, it's a smash and grab. Fast and furious, adjectives. The film was fast and furious. And here, adverbs, here and there. I walked here and there through the city. The second thing that you'll notice about these pairs of words is the sounds that they contain. For example, here, smash and grab, ah, 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 ah. This is an example of assonance. Fast and furious fast, furious. This is an example of alliteration. And here and there. This is an example of rhyme. And generally, when we create or use binomials, the words exhibit some of these rhyming or alliteration or assonance features. Another interesting thing about binomials is that sometimes the words complement each other. And sometimes the words are in opposition. So, for example, some complements are an arm and a leg. If something is very expensive, you can say, whoa, it cost an arm and a leg. Or song and dance. If somebody is making a lot of noise, creating a lot of activity, you can say they are making a song and dance. In opposition, we have day and night. You could say the difference between his English classes and his English classes are day and night. Or all or nothing. I want to love you all or nothing. And remember that I said a vast majority of binomials are joined with and. But you can use other conjunctions or prepositions. For example, do or die, dusk till dawn, floor to ceiling, hand in hand, and tit for tat. So now let's talk about using binomials. So the first thing is that they are 3 times as common in writing. So yes, you should use them when you're speaking, but you should definitely use them if you are writing. They are really, really common in writing. The second thing is that in a vast majority, the word order is fixed. You can say black and white, but not white and black. Or you can say spick and span, but not span and spick. And finally, binomials, they have a single meaning. They contain 3 words, but they represent one word, one piece of vocabulary. So when you're memorizing them, when you're using them, don't look at the meanings of the individual words. Think about how they contain a special meaning of their own. So finally, why should you use binomials? The fantastic thing about binomials is they allow you to take a very complicated idea or a complicated grammatical structure and simplify it. Imagine if you are talking about your life and how recently there has been some very difficult periods, but also some very happy periods. It's been a tumultuous time, a roller coaster. Or you could say recently life has had its ups and downs. It's a complicated idea simplified with 3 little words. So now you know that they are very common, very simple to use, and they allow you to express yourself in a new and exciting way. So now it's time to start using them. Down in the description box, you will find a PDF with a list of the most common binomials in English. Go and practice. Well, I hope that you found that class interesting. If you would like to see any more videos about the English language, then don't forget to subscribe. I'm Christian, this is Canguro English. I'll see you in class.